Okay, so let's take a look at the three halves of life and why this is so critical in using and enjoying your money. So again, in the book, Perfecting Your Walk, which is now the Worry-Free Retirement, more than 20 years ago, I noticed this phenomenon starting to taking place. Most people were treating money like their parents and grandparents. In other words, that generation of our parents and grandparents, they came out of the Depression, folks. When they got into retirement, they either didn't have a lot of money or they were afraid to spend it. They saw what could happen if you didn't stockpile and hold on to money. With all these large 401k plans and people deciding that, hey, I don't want to die with all these tax tumors out there, there's a whole nother ball game that we are dealing with in today's retirement field. So let's imagine somebody does have $1 million and it's in a tax-infested 401k plan. Now, we've talked about this before, but when you think about it, the idea of allowing it to just keep growing, in fact, put this up, Aaron, this is what Wall Street and the numbers game is wanting. They want you to save more and more money until you get to these huge amounts of money. I'm not sure why anybody would want, a gajillion dollars, only to one day get to a point where you can't use or enjoy it because of health or the loss of loved ones or whatever. Then you still have all these taxes you've got to deal with. Or if you don't use it and pay the taxes, your kids are going to inherit the tax tumor. Makes no sense. So Live Well, Die Broke says there are three halves of life. The first half is generally between the ages of 35 to around 55. That's the time of life when people are trying to work hard and just save as best they can. That's why we generally don't work with people in this age group. We're trying to work with people that are at least at halftime or in the second half of life. Now, why do we focus on people at halftime in the second half? Again, halftime is generally around 55 to 70, and the second half is around 70 plus. This differs for different people. A lot of it depends on your lifestyle, health, etc. But just kind of ballpark, that's what we're looking for. Because we know when people get in this time frame of halftime, that's when they need to have a plan to use and enjoy this money. But if people are going to start spending this money during halftime, they get really worried. Now, why do you think they worry about spending this money? Because they're worried at the second half, they may run out. And this is where our proprietary split IRA concept comes in. Again, this was something we were way ahead of the crowd on. A lot of people are emulating this, but this is where we diversify the spending strategy with investments. In this case, we use Charles Schwab for our investments on the front end. And generally, we might put in annuities that provide that beloved
mailbox money.
So the mailbox money, by definition, is money that you can never outlive. We don't turn on the mailbox money until we get into the second half of life, folks. Why do we not turn it on? Because once you turn on the mailbox money, it is not flexible. It's not meant to be flexible. It's meant to make sure you don't run out of money. That's why we need all this flexibility and getting money that you can have access to during halftime, because who knows what you might want to do with it. That's another reason you all need to slow down. Many of you are rushing out there. You're throwing all your money in these long-term bonus annuities. You are taking away all the flexibility you're going to need at halftime. So there's a lot we can go into, but here's what I would suggest. If this sounds like you, if you like this concept of Live Well, Die Broke, you're looking for somebody you can trust that seems more concerned about you enjoying your money versus them just taking it from you and holding on to it, then we need to talk. And we've made this so easy. We call it the 10-minute free fiduciary phone call. To set up your call with me, just log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com or call us anytime at 877-499-9255.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.